whose topic is entitled Dream Your Life, Live Your Dream, which is part of the title of one of her many books, a 33-day challenge to change your life for the better, and I can recommend it as being truly inspirational.
What we do when we're setting goals is we want to set goals that actually resonate with who we really are. And we've been hearing this recurring theme from our earlier speakers that we really want to find out who is perfectly me. So by the end of my time with you, I don't want you just to know that you are okay. I want you to know that you rock. Such a unique and unrepeating miracle that there is absolutely no point in trying to be somebody else. When we tap into who we really are, that person that is perfectly me, our ideal you, our real you, our life becomes a lot easier as we fit into a slipstream of where we're meant to be. Now, the last part of this creative process is connecting. And in the connecting, that's when we connect what we've done differently, said differently, and thought differently. And all of a sudden, we're not trying to be different, we just become different. Well, I think it's about 10 centimetres worth. About that much. Right there. I think that's how much control all of us have over our own lives. We can't control what happens on the outside, and when I do these don't get hung up on what anyone else is saying or what anyone else is thinking. Focus on your radio me. Now, they've actually done studies that have proven that up to 95% of what goes on in radio me is based on could've, would've, should've. Fight for, strive for. And the reason I use such strong words is because you really want to think about what's important. Now, when we talk about values, we're not talking about stuff. When we do lists of values, we often find that we're what's called prescribing to somebody else's value sets. Now, it might be, in the case of work teams, it's to, what does my boss want me to say? In the case of people who still live at home, what does mum and dad want me to say? Married couples, what does my wife want me to say? What does my husband want me to say? In this exercise, no one is going to mark your work. You're not going to hand those sheets back to me, they're yours to keep. No one's going to see them, your mum and dad's not going to see them. If your teacher's sitting near you, just put your arm over like you do, you don't want anyone to copy you. This is entirely your exercise, so I want it to come from deeply, honestly within you. Where you connect with great, brilliant ideas. As a writer, quite often I tap away written 2 books now, or presentations like this, and then I read it and I go, where did that come from? Like, I didn't write that. I obviously wrote it, but it came from some inspired place. You'll hear painters say this, musicians say it. So when you're in that creative place, you're not trying to do anything, you just are, and you're being. Excellent. Happiness, because you can have the best job in the world and all the money in the world and it still doesn't mean you're happy. And I can tell you some of my highest paying clients pay me exactly for that reason, because they've got so much money and they're not happy. Table 20, sorry, I'm not going to do you guys because you're part of my table anyway. Table 19, I don't know, part of the gang. 18. Now there was a hand that went up kind of first, but a hand that went up faster. So which one do I choose? I'll choose you over here. But I'll try and remember those other people. Oh, kind of.
Fun, it relates to happiness, joy, love, and love.
Fun relates to happiness, joy, love and laughter. Excellent. uROk. Now, as I said, the uROk personal wheel was developed from what I use with my corporate clientele. But I'm not ashamed to say it, I'm now 40. I had my 40th birthday just recently, and when I was about 30, I decided that I might like to have some little kidlies. Up until that time, my husband's here, Matt. We've been together for 17 years. Before we were just a very career-orientated couple, and that was our value set. Luckily, I met someone who was exactly like me and vice versa, so that we were both in the same industry at that stage, in finance. But then when the value set started changing a bit, when we started thinking about having a family, I wanted to take what I loved doing, because one of my values was still achievement. So I loved doing what I was doing, but I didn't want to have to put in such long working hours or such great intensity. So I started thinking, how can I move all of this stuff into a more personal development area, put some of it online and write a book about it that people could do themselves. So the challenge, the uROk 33-day challenge was born, and this is what it's all about, this wheel. So I took all that business thinking, and there was a corporate wheel to begin with. At the beginning I talked about everything being made up of energy. I decided to mix into my little pot a bit of metaphysics and more spiritual thinking to come up with this. And the centre that drives absolutely everything is why. And in the diagram we've actually put you, but it is why. And it goes back to that values list that we were doing. Why? Why do you care? Why do you want good health? Why do you want wealth? Why do you want to look after yourself and your mental state? Why do you want love? And so when we're building a personal wheel, we always start with the middle. Why? Because if you know some of the answers to why, what's important to me and why is it important? What do I want to achieve in life and why do I want to achieve it? All of those sorts of questions go in the middle. That'll tell you how healthy you need to be, how wealthy you need to be, how much you need to look after your personal development and mental state. It'll tell you what kind of love is important to you. Right for you, then don't go there, don't make it hard on yourself. Work to your strengths, your natural gifts, talents, abilities. Okay, so we're going to talk about I am. It's very strong, it's very positive. It doesn't say I wish or I hope or I will, it says I am. And Kira spoke about in her speech the present and being in the present. When you're on that wave, you're not going to do anything, you're not hoping or wishing to do anything, you are doing it. So all statements start with I am. So I am perfectly me. I'm a unique and unrepeating miracle. I'm amazing. I'm number one. I'm the best. Whatever you are in terms of health. I now do it. Not I'm going to do it tomorrow or I'm going to start doing it or any of those things. I now. Tell your brain now is the time to make the change. I feel. This connects with what's most important again. So we want to use the words I feel. I feel vibrant. I feel prepared for my exams. Not I am now passing all of my exams, but I feel a bit frightened or I feel a bit scared. I feel capable. I feel prepared. So those three words, I am, I now, I feel. You've got maybe a minute, sorry girls to push you, but a minute to